Hello and welcome to episode 4 of my space exploration gameplay for Factorio. We got ourselves everything set up that I've been speaking about in the last episode. So I built myself this little venue here and it produces everything I require. It's also clearly visible that the iron plates that we're producing are really not really enough, but it's okay. It's just the early game pain you have to go through. We're building assembly machines, we're building electric mining drills, and most importantly, we're also building inserters. So, a lot of the problems that I've had in the last episode will today be not much of a big thing because we got what we require. Also, you see the steady stream of bricks flowing downhill here. That's because we have also automated this. Okay, so what's on plate for today? It's quite simple. I want to get my hands on this coal patch up here. I want to plug in a lot of miners here, and I want to get my energy game amped up. I mean, we need to go for better electricity production. It's pretty clear that we need something better than that, but well, it seems as if we are quite a while away from that. I think steam power is just where we want to go for that next. So I'm going to cancel that one, and we require fluid handling. So I'll switch on over to this. And in the meantime, we're going to grab ourselves the stuff we require and head on over to the coal patch. So power-wise, I'm really stretched thin at this point, but I mean, it's been foreseeable. Oh, I forgot to build myself electric poles. Shame on me. Well, there's always something that's getting in the way, I suppose. We're going to do this like that. So, we're going to pick up those electric mining drills and those guys here. Well, do I need assemblers? Well, I'd rather pick them up before I need them. It's quite often the case that you get sad about your decisions quite quickly. Good. I have more than enough resources available here. Get rid of a few of these copper plates. They just accumulated like crazy. And one of the first things that we're going to do here is we're going to drag ourselves some power line up there. So we're also playing with aggressive biters here, but space exploration offers you a slower start here in terms of alien pressure. So we are still in the clear for a while, but all in all, I want to expand towards the iron faster because of that, you know. Basically just a liability in the future. Picking up some stone because we want to do some furnaces rather sooner than later. So that's something I want to work with too. Good, so we got here quite the patch. The big problem that I see is that the patch is bigger than my capacity or the amount of miners that I can put up here. It's also pretty, well, odd visible. I could fix this up by just putting some floor below it, but, well, we're not gonna do this. So, I am going to pick this patch up from this direction. Yeah, let's do this like that. When you're facing these invisible patches, I am always running it like that. So we're now just basically... As long as there's some coal visible in that screen, I'm just picking it up. Below the mini-map. Alright, so this is going to be our first large-scale coal production. I think this should be sufficient at the end of the day. We can't store endless. Yeah, that's okay for starters. I don't want to overdo it because right now these thingies are still costly, hard to come by, and it's pretty good for us if we don't overdo it and save up some resources for other projects. This guy here, you know, cliff explosives, something I'm working towards too as well, obviously. Because look at that sassy little cliff. Jeez, just look at it. Anyways, so we are able to expand on this as we see fit. I'm going to move to the left with that thing here. Because this way we can expand ourselves for the power production. So, speaking about power and power production, this will be a pretty hefty blow to my power production. So we're going to set up another burner turbine generator for the time being. I mean, these are really, well, dead weight. As far as I know, you can't do anything out of these. So they're seriously just going to be scrapped one day soon. But whatever, I don't mind. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So, let's fetch up another burner inserter, and I hope this will bring us enough power for what we require. It's still a bit of a leap until we have the steam power fully set up, especially since we have to build all the fun little toys for that, you know. But it's going to be quite a nice next milestone. And after that, we have power. Lots of it. So, our miners are eating like 50% of our current total energy production. That's totally fine. And I also want to do this. There we go. I want to shuffle this a little bit. Because here we have way more miners putting onto this side of the belt. And here they do the same. This is a little bit unfavorable. It's far from being professional what I'm doing here, but we're also not fixing up here a permanent thing. It's just the early game power production. Okay, so next step, we are going to get ourselves those fuel processors going that I just made here. Because they are going to be extremely important for us. So let's check out how many fast inserters does this thing require. Merely one. Isn't that nice? Alright. So now we can get that job here done as well. Because we're never going to start. We're never going to go to burn coal unrefined. It's just blasphemy, basically. Okay, so we have set up what we need for the big leap for steam power. Just take a while until the steam power is actually ready. I forgot that the research there is not standard. Yeah, you know, I come from vanilla Factorio. So, or at least that's that was the last thing that I played before I hopped here. So, but we are going to use that time. As you see here, iron is totally undersupplied. I'm not surprised. We also have only one mining drill finished. It's also not much of a big surprise because, you know, these machines here, they eat the stuff before the mining machines get to eat it. So, to make matters worse, we really don't have too much iron here to begin with, to work with, but it is what it is. So, next step, I want to go on over here to the next patch of iron ore. At least for the time being, we can set up shop there. So we already can get ourselves acquainted there. Because we just don't have the resource to do anything else. This core hole here, we're going to do some core mining in the future. So the seam fissure can be temporarily... I didn't even know that. Huh. So you can remove these. Anyways. So here things are a little bit more complicated. I think it's time to consider how the factory will flow. I think we're going to flow downwards. Yeah, that's what I'm going to to do. So let's assign the power, construct the power. And then we're going to go for our first bigger smelting venture. Or we're going to set it up at least. Good. Steam power. That's totally what I wanted. We can also now go for oil processing, but that's a bit far in the future. I want to go for the ammo upgrades here again because reasons. Okay. Another thing, let's get working on our boilers and steam engines. So let's see. We can get the first suit going. So let's see if anything has changed. The consumption is 60 water per second, and these guys are consuming... Yeah, there's no rework or any other shenanigans happening here that we're not used to from space exploration's side. It's always important to double check these things because, you know, can really mess up your day. I do realize that we require much more iron than I got currently, so... Well, I'm gonna fix up a few things behind the scenes. Now then, that's better. So, I amped up a few things here. I did bring up a couple of pre-producers, and most importantly, I amped up the iron production by a smidge. So we are now on 7.5 iron plates per second. This is, by the way, the maximum that you can get out of a yellow belt, you know, when you're using only 50% of its capacity for iron ore. So this thing is now running at full capacity, and that's all I can wish for, I guess. We're going to get started now with the water power, or the steam power, I should rather say. In this mod, these things require power as well. I found it always really weird in vanilla that they actually didn't require power there. But yeah, so we're going to get ourselves some pipes with water. Also pre-produce these because it's also quite a resource-intense thing. And now we're going to get ourselves into the actual power generation. I'm going to do this on this side, so we have the other side open for more power production. No. Yeah, we're going to do this like that. I like to keep things expandable. Therefore, we're going to do this like that. Worst that we'll have to do there is to rewire it into a different direction. So I'm still currently not providing myself all the logistics basics here, like still pre-craft or handcrafting my undergrounds. Because I feel like that's really something where you can, well, save yourselves a couple of bucks, so to say. Okay, so let there be power. Steam power is so much more convenient because it is more efficient and it's easier mass producible, therefore. Actually not, but the efficiency issue there really bothered me with the other guys, so... Okay, if I have to, I can expand my production here of processed fuel. And these guys are now doing their thing. Ah, beautiful. So we finally have gotten ourselves some real power supply. Okay, for now I'm going to let both systems run, because this is, as a matter of fact, not too much power yet. I mean, we are netting in now. Well, it's hard to read from this perspective, but it's 8 times 900, so 7.2 megawatt out of this facility. It's a good start. It's going to get us somewhere, and we are going to expand on it over the course of the upcoming adventures. Due to the upgrade that I did here in the iron patch, I also have a nice opportunity now to grab whatever I need. Finally. Okay, so off to the next big project. So, wait a sec, not quite yet. I forgot one important thing. So, I did another little nifty thing behind the scenes. I put up a stone furnace for steel plates, and we're going to do that while we're building up our little venture now. So, I'm going to do the smelting pretty simply here and between these two patches. For now, the smelting will be provided by the smelters will get the ore provided by the patches, but in the future we're going to get that stuff from somewhere else. I already can envision that we're going to have logistics running where the patches are currently. So we're going to go for the very, very classic system that I personally see as the standard. So there we go. And this time we're going to let it go like this. So there's the output. Iron will be output there, ore and fuel. So there's going to be a dedicated lane for everything now. It's going to be a tad bit annoying is the fact that we have to pipe fuel all the way down here, though. That's something that bothers me a little bit, but, you know, there's always something, I'd say. Just like these trees encroaching this patch, they have to go as well. We need to get ourselves some hand grenades to get rid of that issue outside. So, form-wise, well, alright, I'm going to take this patch from this side. I always try to get myself an idea on which side I want to take patch. Okay, so it's been a little bit too high. There, this should work, right? Yeah. Good. This is just the beginning. We need more mining machines. But due to the fact that I upgraded my iron output, I'm positive that this will work out well now. Also, let's feed this little guy with this processed fuel. Because for this new project, we're going to require the real deal, medium electric poles. Not the small ones, because they won't have enough reach for that. But I can then finally say goodbye to this haphazard smelter design. Well, can't see it here, no radar, but whatever. Okay. Well, we're going to manipulate that accordingly later. Good. So I'm setting up here now just the basics so you guys can see how this is supposed to be working. Alright. So there goes. Of course you could string that up a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, but good. We got that, but we ain't got fuel yet. So, oh, these meteorites, they are dangerous. Picking them up should never be done without a box. I don't know if uranium is still hurting me in this mod pack. While Factorio was activated, it did hurt quite badly. Now then, let's get ourselves the power supply over there. And now we're going to wire these guys up like that. Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's how they're going to work. There it goes. And you wouldn't be able to sustain this kind of grid with small power poles. Or, well, actually you do. No, you don't. Here. Because there's no room for small power poles in between. You can do this with undergrounds. That would be an option. But I personally always felt a lot more comfy with just putting down the big power pole there. Just like that. Problem solved, you know. Okay, so we're going to feed these guys for now with all precious processed fuel here. Because I don't have any real fuel yet. So we also are not in the age of robots yet. So setting up these things will be a massive chore. Because we have to set up all the inserters manually. I'm looking forward to the age where I don't need to do this anymore. But I'm afraid we might be still pretty far away from that. Don't know how achievable robotics are here, but, well, whatever. So the good point here is we're gathering new iron. And now let's see, how are we going to pull this off? I figured what I thought would be really fun would be if we'd be unplugging our power production up here entirely. And we're going to use the coal that we're gathering here now, furthermore, exclusively for smelting purposes, you know? There we go. I think my power grid will last already. And we're going to expand on that steam power now. And then we are going to be totally fine with this as my, well, provider for the smelting enterprises of us. I think that should be working out just nicely for now. Yeah, that's not that's not professional. That's highly unprofessional. Anyways, so what we do need now is we need to get that fuel somehow down the road, which is going to be a very costly ordeal. I can already foresee that. But on the other hand, well, there will be the day when we're going to dismantle this whole business here. Fuel business, I mean. That will be one of the lanes that will become redundant over the course of the time. But at the same time, I cannot say no to it right now. Anyways, so the wonderful part now here is that we can get, with this model, much more stuff done on a much more compact environment. So, Control Copy, or Shift C, or Control C. We're going to go and put this down now. So that's 8 of these guys. I need a grand total of 48 for this kind of thing. So let's do this. That's 16. I'm holding left shift while I'm doing this. That's 24, 32, 40, 48. So if I'm had no mistake in my calculations, this will result in a 15 iron plate setup. We still have to do a lot of heavy lifting here, but, well, the good part is that due to the blueprint that I've set up here on the ground, things are a little bit easier to handle, at least in my opinion. This is going to be a pretty lengthy process here to set this thing up like that. So let's see. Yeah, it's 48. And we got to do this on both sides. It's also quite a material heavy thing to go for, and, well, we are going to plunder a lot of our resources here. But the bright side, I see that the starter base here is doing a great job in keeping up with the new tasks. So we're going to expand our power production now. And, well, oh, don't you dare to. Okay. Gotta say, I hate those cliffs already. So, but it's not that much of a big deal. It's just the future boilers can't sit there, or it's gonna be a little bit harder at least. For some odd reason, I love cliffs because they're getting you into logistical challenges. Don't know why, but I'm just like that. Well, we're going to expand the steam power now over the course of the time. I think I'm just going to be doing it like that now. I'm pretty sure that fuel processors up to this point should be really, really enough. And then back to the mining field. So I'm going to set up the smelter furnaces, the entire thing behind the scenes. I just wanted to introduce the system here to you guys on cam. I think most of you will be already very familiar with these concepts. I don't think that I'm entertaining here too many people who are not too familiar with Factorio, but you never know, and therefore I feel like it's better to explain before people are wondering why the hell I'm doing what I'm doing. So we're now going to wire in the fuel, and then this whole thing should work out fine. So turns out fuel will be wired in from a different side. That happens. And we're going to use another splitter here. There goes. And once this has happened, we're finally ready to send this wonderful grid here on its mission. Still require more belts. I regret that I didn't set up the belt factory somewhere down. Oh, there's so many things that I want to get done. But I also want to get done in a fair time. I mean, I could put down flooring below all of this, so we would be walking faster. Well, that would be eating up a lot of my time as well. Alright. But this is pretty much where I wanted to end today's episode at. So this is, well, mostly most of my first smelting column. Quite happy about it, because that is, if I haven't done any miscalculations, let's ask our friend the factory planner. But I think I should be right about that. There we go. Time scale 1. Jeez, it's so complicated when you see everything. So, yeah, 48 stone furnaces are doing this. Perfect. And we also can see that we require 2 entire mining machines just for that task. I definitely might be needing to amp up my production here as well. And I feel like I want to let this stuff flow rather down this direction. Okay, my good friends. Thanks so much for being around here. Thanks so much for your ongoing support. Really, really enjoying myself. I hope so do you. And we're going to continue this adventure in the next episode. Feel free to drop me a comment down there. I always love to hear from you guys. Feel free to leave me a thumbs up. That helps massively in terms of teaching YouTube that you like this video. And of course, subscription is very, very welcome. And check out Patreon, PayPal, and Buy Me a Coffee. I'm an independent content creator. I have no big sponsorships behind me or anything, so any help is deeply appreciated. That being said, I hope you have a great day, and thanks for watching this video up until this very moment. That is the most important thing of all. Have a wonderful day, and see you next time when we got a big smelter available, and let's see what we do with that then. Until then, bye-bye.